it's Satu back with another video. So really quickly, I just wanted to talk about some decks this year that really surprised me in a really positive way. This might be a cute, like a quick, video, but I just want to share. I want to share like what my experience has been with cards this year. So without further ado, let's get started. So I would say I'm going to pull out the Antique Blacks Tarot. This deck surprised me. One, when I got it, there are some blemishes, but like I guess there's some defects in the cards. I don't know if you can see my copy, like the gilding on the back kind of bleeds through in like an orangey color, like in this space, and I don't know. But I bought this deck at the beginning of the year. This deck was created by artist Dogon Kriga. It is fashioned, it's a collage deck that is fashioned after the instead of the hero's journey, it's more like the root worker's journey. It celebrates and honors, so pays homage to African American root working culture and conjure culture. So a lot of the themes and meanings associated with the cards kind of resonate with that. And so when I got it and I saw these blemishes, I was like, oh no, I was a little disappointed, but I was like, I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to fuss about it. And I'm just going to use it because I was really excited to see what it could do. And I feel like I've been using this deck the most when connecting to my ancestors. Something about the cards, like the fact that, for example, the Major Arcana 15, love drawing instead of the devil, it, like the archetypes, not to say that the original Major Arcana doesn't like resonate, but like the archetypes and how they're employed through the perspective of root worker, like speak, or more, how do I say this, resonance with my direct ancestors. The iconography of jars, roots, it's just been really cool reading with it. And I've just been getting, I feel like, a lot of insight. Like this deck is a deck that makes you pay attention. Like when it gives you a message, you're like, oh, okay, I better take this, seriously. I think similar to this deck would be, like, I guess Honoré mentioned, to the Voodoo Tarot. It didn't make the list because I hadn't used it as much, but when I have, it was like the same energy, but it was more like, instead of my immediate ancestors, it was more like my way back African ancestors, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the book is phenomenal. The book is so phenomenal. I just haven't used it as much. There's another example of a blemish on a card. So I just had to suck it up. Love it. Okay, so that's it. So it's very simple collage, which makes it easy to understand what you're looking at. It was very pricey, so I was like, I better like this deck. But I actually really love it, and I surprised myself with how much I used this deck in particular to speak with my folks. Along that vein, I don't know if it didn't. Okay, here's what surprised me about the 9 Coins Oracle, which is my original photography oracle deck. When I made it last year, I didn't know whether I was going to make it available to purchase, and then people mentioned that they wanted it, and I decided to like take a risk. For me, it was a risk to like go ahead and like do that. And I think what surprised me about this deck is that, you know, the few people who have, you know, gotten it find it helpful for them. Because I was scared. I was like, oh my gosh, what if it doesn't resonate with them? Like, God, like, you know. But I love seeing the response regarding the use of this deck. It floors me every single freaking time. And I'm just so grateful that people find this helpful. I think as a spiritual practitioner, all I want to be is helpful. Like I you know, like all I want to do is offer good things into the world. And so I had actually put this deck down for like the better part of the first part of the year. And it wasn't until like recently that I started using it more concretely, I think. And really the inspiration behind this deck was to reflect on all of the lessons I have learned and have been learning along the way, and how can I take what was in my head, the wisdom that I received through these experiences, and put them in a deck so that I can keep continuing to pull from that wisdom. So these are photographs that I've taken through the years. And at first I was going to create a guidebook, but I really think that like your intuition is paramount with this deck, you know. And so I'm just so grateful to y'all and to the community for supporting the work of like people who just want to like make good things for others. And so yeah, this ironically has surprised me this year. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad that I have it. I'm glad that others who do have it like it, that they enjoy using it. And I hope that continues. So that was the 9 Coins Oracle. This one, so this is the Tarot de la Santa Muerte. This is a deck created and made in Mexico. I ordered it from eBay. There's a shop on eBay that ships these decks directly from Mexico. This deck surprised me because I thought that this would be I was a little intimidated, I'm not gonna lie. Santa Muerte, the energy of that, I was wanting to explore, but I was also hesitant because I felt like it was a really serious thing to begin to learn about and get to know this type of energy. But when I started reading with it, it was very accessible. Here are the backs. There we go. The cardstock is not good. I'm not even gonna hold you. It's, you know, very kind of flimsy. You can tell like there's like these like the cards got punched out of something, and you can see on the like these little ridges on the edge of the cards. But something about this deck and its connection to this force that is Santa Muerte has really the energy that I feel is powerful, but also gentle and loving. It's so strange, right? I'm sitting here thinking like, oh my God, Santa Muerte, oh my God. But it's like, I don't know. It's awesome. And I think for me, part of my spiritual journey is to be able to understand and realize the integration of like what basically the divine mother, what is that energy? What are all parts of the energy? The sustainer, the creator, the destroyer. Like that's what I'm really interested in, like encompassing that in my own spiritual work and embodying that in my own life. And these energies, I've also been studying Kali as well, similar energy, Morrigan, similar energy, Hecate, similar energy. I'm very invested in like the totality of this type of power that I feel like as a woman. I feel that I can tap into. I don't know why people in this deck are so body beautiful, but I just find it funny. The guidebook is in Spanish, and strength is at 11. But it's just, I don't know. I like it. I use it, but I do not use it lightly. This is something that I use it to communicate more so with spirit. It also sits at my bedside. Another thing that sits at my bedside. Oh, no. I'll go to this one. So, Women of Myth. I've talked about this before. I raved about it before. I'm going to still say that this deck surprised me. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. I thought it was just going to be, I just wanted like an oracle deck that was like, gave some cheese, a little bit of cheese, but like not too much, like not too love and light, but like just a touch. And then I started using it and reading it, and it's just really cool. It features not only goddesses around the world, but also mythical heroes and monsters. And each of these three aspects we can learn from in many different ways. It is beautifully illustrated. And again, like I was saying earlier, what I'm interested in the integration of shadow with light, and what is that? Like, what is that? And so I love that the monster suit kind of encaptures that very concretely. A lot of people, goddess decks are, it's a thing, right? Like, sometimes it's hard to kind of have like this overview of a goddess from a different culture on each card and this and that. But I kind of like learning about, different cultural, spiritual traditions and stories and lessons. And with the realization that we can all learn from them, and that these lessons are universal. This is for me a deck similar to the Wee Moon Tarot of like, this is like inner work here. This is like find your power kind of work. It's like explore the shadow. What is going on? What am I reacting to? What am I projecting? That's kind of how I've been approaching this deck. So nice little goddess deck that I was like, oh snap, I actually really like it. Oh my god. So that's the Women of Myth Oracle deck, and that is by Maria Sofia Marmanides. The last out of the 5, did I say I was only doing 5 decks? Okay, well, I'm only doing 5 decks. The last out of the 5. So soul cards, right? What I did was I took both Soul Cards 1 and Soul Cards 2, and I selected 78 cards after the tarot, and I designated each card based on each card in the tarot. I did not I didn't label them, because I still wanted to use it the way that I usually use soul cards, which is intuitively. But the idea that the spirit and the knowledge, the wisdom of the tarot is imbued in this deck means a lot to me. So this deck is also at my bedside. This deck is also a deck that I use to connect with source, to connect with spirit. And it's been really cool to use, because you can see how meanings can shift and change and grow with the cards over time, but it all comes from a particular source of knowledge, a source of archetypal knowledge. So I won't, we've seen these cards before. The extra cards I have in a box, and then I edge these in brown so I remember, in case something happens and I mix the cards up with each other and stuff like that, that I remember okay, the brown edged ones are part of the tarot. And so yeah, that's how I've been using it, and it's been really, really interesting and cool. I'm so glad I did that, So those are the 5 that I would say honestly have kind of rocked my world this year in 2024. I have a feeling that next year, as I shift, how we all shift through, that may change. And honestly, that's okay. I'm really glad that I'm happy where I'm at in my tarot practice. And I feel more confident, I think, this year in my tarot practice, which is a great feeling to have. So anyway, what are your top 5? What do you think of my list of decks that surprised me? Just let me know your thoughts below, and yeah, I will. I don't know why I'm so spacey, but I will talk to y'all later, and I hope you have a good week.